Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Downer, and welcome to Beyond the Crust. I'm here with Carrie Peterson, the owner and founder of Northern Lights Pizza. How are we doing today, Carrie?
I'm just thinking, Danny, Mr. Mike, how are you doing?
Hey, every time I get to talk to you, it improves my day.
That's right. I have to say, if the pizza lands right side up in the box, it's a good day.
Hey, you know what? I guess that kind of gets us right into today's subject. That means it's still deliverable, right?
Well, yeah, it depends.
I know, I'm just kidding. So our topic today is pizza delivery. So there's a lot that, you know, most people don't realize about how the process goes and how much time, how time consuming and how much attention to detail it takes to not only make the pizza but to get it boxed up and get it to the customer hot and fresh. So today we're going to answer some of those questions if that's okay with you.
Yeah, it's much like ballroom dancing on a postage stamp. It's
What?
there's let well it's there's a lot of chaos and a lot of movement going on in a small space. Let's just put it that way. Um, so what does it say? Okay, so
So let
uh,
me ask you, I'll
yeah.
ask you a question. So how does Northern Lights Pizza delivery system actually work from the moment an order is placed to when it arrives at the customer's door?
Okay, well, we have a very orchestrated and controlled system for doing that. It's
Okay.
not random chance at all. So the order comes in, it's placed, and goes straight into the kitchen in a queue. So we do first order in, first order out. So the first person to order is the first person that gets served. Okay, so then the pizzas go in the appear in the kitchen to be made in the order they appear. If that makes sense. And then so they go in the oven in that order, they come out
Yes.
in that order, and they go out the door in that order as a rule. There's exceptions to that rule. Number one, let's just say that what happens if something goes wrong? Let's say you get a wrong pizza. You ordered pepperoni, you get sausage. Who knows why? Maybe the driver grabbed somebody else's pizza, or we put the wrong one in the box, or maybe it was ordered. We thought you said sausage, and we hit the wrong button on the computer. Doesn't matter. Your fault, my fault, anybody's fault. You didn't get what you expected, right? So again, we're going to
Okay.
make you pizza. Someone calls with one of those. We have a separate process for that. That is going to interrupt. You call and you got the wrong pizza. We're going to stop the presses, and your order is going to go to the top of the line. It's going to get made immediately. And normally it's made before I get off the phone telling you how long it's going to be. It takes us usually about 30 seconds to make a pizza like that. And
Wow.
then about 5 minutes in the oven. So if someone calls and say, I've got the wrong pizza, we get a new one in the oven, we can literally have them out the door in as little as 6 minutes,
Wow.
because that becomes the oldest order in the store. We're still doing first in, first out, because you've already waited the entire time, the delivery time, da 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 da, to get your pizza, and then it's wrong. When we find that out, as far as we're concerned, your order hasn't been made the first time yet. So you go right to the top of the list. So without exceptions, with except for exceptions like that, it's just gets made first and first out. And the people make the pizzas very, very quickly. So it depends on how busy we are. You walk in at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you can literally walk out in under 10 minutes with your pizza.
Wow.
You call at 6 o'clock on a snowy Friday night, you're in for a different kind of wait.
Well, yeah, that's just math, right?
It's just math. But it's our job to make sure that our people are trained to make them quickly and accurately, to make sure that they get in the right box the right way, to make sure the drivers take the right pizzas to the right um, customers. Okay, so there's processes for all of that we follow, and then just scheduling, making sure that we have the right people. We say aces in their places on the right card
So
night.
so you're talking about the right people. That does kind of lead me to my next question, Carrie. How do you build a driver fleet that actually cares about the customer, and why does that matter?
It matters huge. First thing is we we hire one of the key things that we look for in an employee is being friendly. That's If you can't be friendly, we don't want you around. Period. Okay,
That
you're
makes
not
sense.
fun to work with, and it's just not pleasant for the customers. But we take care of our employees. They're all treated like family. Matter of fact, we've got one driver in our system that has been with us since 1996. So
Wow.
you do that math. He's at 30 years as a driver. Okay, and he's as reliable as I would say the weather, just to be smart. But you can. He's always there when you need him. He's friendly. Knows what he's doing. But but I know that when I send someone like that to the door, and my customers see the same face all the time, our customers are like family to us too. Many that you walk in the door, we know who they are. I know who your family is. I know who your kids are. I know who your cousins are. I know what you like. When you walk in the door, before you order. Sometimes when it comes up on the caller ID, now I know what they're going to order because we just treat everybody like our own family, and so yeah, it's very important to us. We do screen. We do driving checks. We do public background check. Nothing like check social media, check courts online, make sure there's nothing, you know, that I wouldn't want on my front door. I wouldn't want my daughter-in-law or my grandkids to open the door to this person, and I don't. They can work for the competitor.
Perfect. So, let me ask you. I just kind of want to circle back just a little bit. So, what happens after you make the pizza to when it gets delivered, and what's that process? Because we kind of
So,
started in on it, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to circle back to finish that off.
so we'll start on a busy night, like a Friday when it's super busy. We're obviously going to put the pizza in the oven. It's going to go through the oven. It's going to come out, and then the oven tender, we call them, is going to take the pizza out. They're going to inspect for quality, make sure it's made correctly and to the right spec. It's not burnt. It's not overdone. Nothing's missing. They're going to put the correct tasty crust on it required, and the sauces, what have you. They're going to put it on a stack it on a hot rack.
Yep.
Um, you know, and then when the whole order is complete, they turn it around to face the delivery driver staff. Then the driver will come in. The computer will tell him what order is due first, which, by first in, first out. So order one is going to be at the top, then order two. So he's going to take order one. Then the manager on duty, they usually have what we call an expediter over there. That
Yep.
person is telling the driver, you're going to take number 1 and 3, or 1 and 2, or 1, 3, and 4, whatever they may be. They've already mapped out how they're going to route, so we can get the pizzas out the most efficiently. And then oftentimes that person will have the order in the bags already for the driver when they walk in the door. They've already checked all the sauces and all the side items, the things that people have ordered, um, to make sure that the driver can get in, get out quickly with everything the customer ordered. That's the goal, is to knock on the door with everything the customer wants at once. Um, there are failures, of course, and most of the time usually you have less failures when it's busy than when you do when it's not, and that sounds upside down, but I think the reason is because when it's not busy, the drivers who are accustomed to someone else checking it all the time when they are busy forget that it's their job to make sure that everything's in the order to go, and sometimes they get distracted and forget because they're human beings. But
No, that's
but they're supposed to, that's for sure. And the
you
guys
bet.
that
The
have been
human
around a long
element's always
time,
there.
they do it. Yeah, they don't forget that step.
So let me ask you this, Carrie. What's the biggest challenge in pizza delivery that most customers never think about?
Oh boy, the ability to communicate with the customer and the importance of
Really?
that. Yes. So it takes two people to dance. Like I said,
Yeah.
you got to have a dancing partner, right? You're dancing a tango and they're doing a waltz. You just look silly, but you're not. You're not. So if we have any number of things can go wrong when an order is taken. Either when the customer calls the order in to us on the phone, there can be a misunderstanding. Um, we could put a wrong phone number in. Have the wrong destination in mind. Um, People move. and forget and we don't know that. They give us a phone number and we deliver pizzas to the old address, or maybe they move to a different apartment in the same building, or they
Yep.
want no contact delivery. But oftentimes, I will say on the nights when I have to go in and deliver on any given shift, there's at least 6 customers that I have to try to contact for one reason or another. I have to call them. So, for example, no contact delivery. We don't do no contact delivery like the third party people do. We
What's the
don't.
difference?
We will not leave the pizza on the porch, take a picture of it, and leave. We will not do that. It's about food.
What do you do?
We put the pizza up. Well, they're supposed to, when they arrive, call the customer, get them on the phone, say, "Do you see me? Am I in the right driveway?" "Yep, I see you." "Okay, now I'll put your pizza on the porch, but I need to see a human being open that door and pick it up before I leave. Because otherwise, how do you know some critter didn't get in it? Or a
Yeah.
neighbor? Or. So for food safety reasons and just the chain of custody on that pizza, we wanted to go from us to a customer as directly and quickly as possible. So we don't. But the problem is people use these third-party apps all the time, and that's their expectation. They don't want to be called, and they don't answer the phone, and it really makes it difficult for us because we won't leave it there. We're going.
That makes sense.
We have to contact you. We're not. Again, you hear us talk. You can go back and listen to past broadcasts on this. Food quality to us is so important. Food safety is so important. Things like allergens and all these things that we do to make sure that we give you a pizza that's not going to give you a bad experience. The last thing we're going to do is leave it on your porch and walk away. And just walk away. It's not going to happen.
That's the perfect lead into my next question that I had for you was, how does Northern Lights Pizza maintain pizza quality during delivery? Like, what specific steps do you do to keep it hot and fresh?
Well, we have insulated bags that we put them in.
Yep.
First of all, we try to keep it so that the time between they come out of the oven and the time they go out the door is very short. Right? So let's just say that you order pizza and it takes 60 minutes to get there.
Okay.
Well, your pizza didn't sit around for 50 of those 60 minutes. It spent most of the time in the queue. If it takes that long to get out the door, it's because we're just busy and we didn't get down to your pizza. But generally speaking, from the time it goes in the oven to the time it goes out the door, or time it comes out of the oven and it goes out the door, it's about 5 minutes on average. We get them out pretty quick. So they come out of the oven and they leave. They go in a hot bag and they go to the door. So another thing too, and I think this is important for people to know, is when we're busy and let's just say we don't have staff. So sometimes, I don't know. I remember the night that the first season of Survivor ended. TV show Survivor.
That's 25 years ago.
We got clobbered. And I didn't know why. I don't watch TV. And I was running all over town trying to put out fires and try to catch up deliveries. It was just nuts. And finally, I said to somebody, I don't know why we're just so busy tonight. It's a gorgeous night. Normally it's slow when the weather's nice. And the guy said, "Survivor parties." I'm thinking, of course, Survivor parties, right? But we can't staff for, like when the planes hit the World Trade Center. We just got enormously busy because people were glued to the TV.
Yep.
You can't schedule that. So all you can do is your best to make sure that, unfortunately, you've got to wait longer than we would like, longer than you would like, but at least when we knock on the door, the pizza's hot.
Perfect.
So if we got to delay it, it's delays in the kitchen before it goes in the oven. That's where the time clicks. The time ticks away, and then when it gets close, then we throw it in the oven for the driver.
No, that makes sense. So sounds like you got a great handle on that. So speaking of delivery, what delivery radius does Northern Lights Pizza cover across the Des Moines Metro? And how do they serve neighborhoods like Ankeny, West Des Moines, Norwalk? Kind of expand on that a little bit, your whole delivery area.
From the Des Moines market area, we serve
Yes.
virtually all of it. We serve Ankeny, Grimes, Norwalk, um, Altoona, Pleasant Hill, Bondurant, um, Saylorville. Um, oh my gosh, Elkhart, Polk City, virtually the entire metro area. There's a few pockets that we don't get to just because they're just too far from pizza stores.
Yep.
Unfortunately, um, we do need another store in central Des Moines to take care of that. There's a pocket in the middle that we can't quite get to because the stores are just too far away from it. Again, for quality, we like to be able to have the driver put that pizza in his car and knock on a door within about 10 minutes. Okay. So that way you get the pizza at your door very, very close to when it came out of the oven, as close as we can get it. So once we start going about 10 minutes or 10 minutes from the store, we start getting where we consider the degradation of the product to be not worth the drive. So it's not a circle necessarily, but it's about drive time. So
Makes
yeah, there's
perfect
places
sense.
we just can't get to quick enough.
Makes perfect sense because you want, all your customers to get that high quality that you're known for.
Yeah, and that's if you think about you do the hierarchy, what's most important? Well, the most important thing is that you get what you paid for. That you want a hot, fresh, high quality pizza as quickly as you can get it. Well, number one is you want hot, fresh, high quality pizza. That's the goal. So everything works backwards from there. How far can we go and still accomplish that? And there's a line that we have to draw. And sometimes people are upset. They go, "Well, it's only another block." Well, I'm sorry, man. Move to the food. You know.
Move to the food. You know what? Your pizza's good enough to where I would consider selling my house to get
Yeah,
in your delivery
move
area.
to the food.
Move to the food. I love that one. We've talked a lot about delivery today, so I kind of want to wind this up, and I want to ask you, what would you tell a customer who wants to know the secret to getting the best possible delivery pizza experience?
I would say to make sure that the address that we have is accurate. Be home. Um, Answer your phone if it rings. If you have an unknown caller, call when after you've delivered pizza. Could be your driver. Sometimes some addresses are very difficult to find. If you've never done this for a living, you don't know the challenge. Sometimes the way addresses are done, I've seen some pretty goofy things. I've seen a house that was 800. I can't remember. I'm not going to say. Is in West Des Moines. There was a house that was 800 on a south numbered street, like say, whatever. I'll make something up. 42nd, right? And you get there and it can't be found because it's in the middle of the 700 block. So it would go
Okay.
like 740, 800, 742. Because the house had been there forever, and the post office changed the addressing, and that person, for whatever reason, run a fight about not having their address changed. There is goofy stuff that will really trip up a driver, and sometimes we just have to call you. Sometimes people don't realize this. There's a state law that says you can't have the same address, the two identical street names in the same
Yes.
county. In the same county. Key. West Des Moines, a lot of it's in Dallas County, some of it's in Polk County. So there's a 65th Street in Des Moines and a 65th Street in West Des Moines that have the same blocks, the same 100 blocks. So I'll just make this up. 1265 65th Street could be in Windsor Heights or West Des Moines.
Oh wow.
They're not close together. Okay.
So you're telling people to leave some delivery instructions too if they know it's confusing.
Well, if they give this the correct address, we often don't need instructions, but we sometimes need to be able to contact the customer. So I just
That's
say,
fair.
answer the phone. If it's a telemarketer, there's a little red button on your screen you can touch and it stops. Just answer the phone so we can get your pizza to you hotter. Nothing worse than having to go all the way back to the store and then, you wait an hour and where's my pizza? Well, we tried. You didn't answer your phone. We tried and tried and tried. You wouldn't answer your phone. So
Makes perfect sense. Well,
takes
Carrie,
two
we
people.
talked a lot about delivery today. Hopefully, this clears up a lot of the questions that customers have. I learned a lot about it. These are just things that the normal person doesn't think about. So, again, you filled me with a lot of pizza knowledge. I look forward to our next recording session so I can learn even more about pizza. It
So now
is
you're saying you're full of it?
no.
I
I I'm
misunderstood you.
about ready to get on the phone right now and call. I'm serious. I'm about ready to order a pizza. I
You
am
got to get one of
so
those founders'
hungry.
favorites. You got to get a founder.
That's what everybody keeps telling me. So
Yeah.
every time I get done talking to you, I'm so hungry, even if I just ate. So I appreciate our talks. They're always a lot of fun. Thanks for joining me and Carrie,
Yep. Thank
owner
you.
of Northern Lights Pizza on Beyond the Crust. Carrie, I look forward to our next one and we'll talk soon.
All right. Thanks.